bottom of the evening to you, YouTube. I am back, and it's like the evening of the morning after. And this is in reference to the Leafs' 6-3 loss in Boston on Saturday night on Hockey Night in Canada. It was a strange game. It was a very even game, but Boston seemed to have some sort of edge. I don't know what it was. The Leafs just weren't quite put together right. But everything was even. Shots were even, hits were even, face-offs were close. Like, everything was close to even, and it seemed like a very evenly played game. But Boston just had some sort of edge. So I think it was near the end of the second period, Kadri and Carlo had something going on a shift, and then Kadri near the end of the second got in a fight with Carlo to try and fire the Leafs up, and then and it did work. They scored some goals and stuff, but just not enough. And then in the third period, it got kind of back to old time hockey. It was awesome. It was Hyman laid a beauty of a hit on McAvoy, who they were complaining that it was late, but it was a clean check. It wasn't that late. I mean, you're allowed a steamboat or two after a guy moves a puck to hit him. At least that's what I thought the rule was. And the guy got filled in, and he wasn't even paying attention. He was admiring his pass, and meanwhile you got Hyman bearing down on you, who is that kind of player. He doesn't stop, and he'll hit you, and the guy just didn't even pay him any heed, thinking he wasn't going to get hit. Well, you got to be ready to get hit at any time. You got a guy bearing down on you, even if it's late. You got to be prepared for it. So Boston's coach was blah 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 after the game and all that nonsense. But I haven't heard anything if the league looked at it or not. But I thought it was a fine hit, and so then afterwards, Hyman got invited to dance by some guy named Grizzlick, something like that, and Hyman beat the crap out of him, which was nice. And then later on, some guy named Wagner, AHL plug, put a high hit on Riley that was late, and then Hainsey dropped the mitts with him. So typical Boston bullshit, right? They're trying to intimidate, but without Chara in the lineup, they really can't intimidate. All they can do is be cheap and whiny. So it was that kind of game. It was fun. It was great. I mean, the Leafs had one or two fights all year until that game when they had three. It was old time hockey. I love it. That's what I grew up on in the 80s. There was fights all the time, and I love hockey violence. It's fantastic. I love the hits. I love the fights. I like it more than the actual goals and the saves. But the league is just going in such an opposite direction. It's disappointing. So that was a pleasant turnaround for a game, but just too bad the Leafs lost. Like I said, they just didn't have it. Fred had an off kind of game, which can't blame him. He logs a lot of minutes, and he bails the Leafs out of a lot of games. And he just had kind of an off night as well. So as for the scorers, it was Dermott got another one, so he's popped a couple lately. Matthews got another one. I think he's got 16 in 16 games, and then Janssen got another one, and it was a beauty too. Tough angle. They're getting scoring from the superstars, from the defense, from the fourth line. It's despite that kind of blip on the radar, it's still rounding out and to be one heck of a season. And so we've got Carolina tomorrow, and I'm assuming that's going to be a much tamer affair than the Boston game. I hope not, but we'll see. And hopefully they can get back in the win column, because a kind of loss like that, a lopsided 6-3 loss in a game where there is some rough stuff and stuff, they probably want to take out their frustrations on Carolina and get back into the win column. So hopefully that will happen, and I will hopefully be back on Wednesday morning to report on that game, and not 2 days later like this one. That's my son had a big 8-hour rehearsal for his show on Sunday, so it was a crazy day, and we were busy getting all the props and costumes, trying to get them all finished up. So really didn't have a chance to even think about doing a video until tonight. So because we had another rehearsal tonight too. So but anyways, his show starts on Friday, so hopefully life will get back to normal, and you'll hopefully be seeing me in a much timelier fashion than normal. And until then, I bid you adieu. And my phone is acting weird, so goodbye for real this time.